Nigeria's bad couple, singer Banky W and actress Adesuwa Itomi, made their first public appearance as husband and wife at the private screening of the wedding party sequel, Destination Dubai. The lead act of the maiden installment, The Wedding Party, were joined by other stars of the romantic comedy. Let's bring you more in this report.
About a year ago, Abudu's movie The Wedding Party shattered the Nigerian box office. The producers returned with a sequel. After months of anticipation, the cast and crew hosted a press junket ahead of its weekend premiere in Lagos, Southwest Nigeria.
It's also a very serious film, dealing with very serious issues. I mean, we saw Shola Sobowale cry. You can imagine the work of the director to get her to that point of being that emotive, and I just think that it's just such a big movie, and watching it in the theater with everyone today just reinforced that fact that, this film can sit shoulder to shoulder anywhere in the world.
He proposed by accident?
Shh, what's wrong? Why are you shouting? Do you want Deirdre to hear you?
How could you let this happen?
Hello? Is it me that proposed to her?
After recording a box office figure of about £500 million to create a new Nollywood record, getting the cast back together for a reasonable fee automatically became the first challenge for the executive producer.
They are a great cast, I can't take that away from them. And you saw today that, everybody came to the party 100% wanting to say, I want to do more than what I did in Wedding Party 1. Of course, they are, cast and will always want to negotiate harder. You don't make a film for make 450 million, and then they're going to sit back and say, oh no, it's okay, you can pay me less. Of course, everybody wanted more. So it was obviously a challenge for us. But I think what's important is that in partnerships, you pay right. You get what you pay for. And, we did not want to cheat anybody out of what was their entitlement. And, we negotiated as hard as we could. And then I think we all arrived at a fair price. And they were able to deliver at that price. And, we're happy that, everybody was a part of it. There was hardly anyone that was in Wedding Party 1 that was not in Wedding Party 2. We even added more people in to make it more fun.
Celebrated female director Kemi Adetiba passed on the directorial duties to Niyi Akimolayan for this second installment. Living up to the standards already set by Wedding Party comes with a bit of pressure.
Give me plenty love. Hey! You will not! As long as I live, you will not!
What is that exactly? Let's see. 3 years?
It was a lot of pressure, it's that, and that's me just putting it mildly. Also because I was a big fan of the first one. And I was one of those people who felt, if something is good, I make a sequel already. But I think the turning point for me was when I read the script. Coincidentally, it was written by, one of my, big collaborators, the writer of The Arbitration, the writer of Out of Luck, who is also my friend, Nazo Nuzo. And when I read the script, I just realized that they weren't just interested in making another film. They were interested in making a uniquely beautiful, different film that cared about the things people loved in the first one and was ready to introduce something fresh. So when I saw that their vision was quite big and they weren't joking, I had to key into it, and that's exactly what I did. So I took it on as a challenge rather than, something daunting. Like, hey, you know what, you're given a task to make a much better and a much bigger film than a film that is already big, how would you, go about it? So it was important for me to reapproach the film from a very strong story point of view. It was important that it was a big romantic comedy, as opposed to, just comedy. So I think the edge that I brought into it is that I really took the story side, of the couple a lot more seriously, than all the madness of the parents, and which is nice because we already know the parents and what they're all going to bring. So the next thing people might want to see, are the couples, and that was nice. And of course, we kept Dooney and Dozie, who people loved. We kept a thread for them in the story.
Me hits those people.
We want to have the wedding next month.
Next month?
We want to take it to Dubai.
We're behind you. Just take all of us to Dubai.
The storyline relegated the lead characters from the first installment to the background and focused on support cast on Sonwuka and Deirdre Winston, played by Aina Onwigwe and Daniela Down.
I get sick when I'm far away from you for so long. I lose sleep when
I'll be right back.
you give me everything I need.
Yes.
Baby, oh baby, you're like medicine to me. You give me everything I need.
Tinode Coker, played by Shola Shubale, became the sensation of the wedding party.
The only person who has been kidnapped here today is my son.
And the ace up Nia Kimalayo's sleeves is to replicate that sensation in another character. It shows South African Michael Depinier.
I have your time. All the time in the world. This is my sister now. Oh, my God.
I think one of the first discussions I had with the producers was that if we really wanted to make a sequel, then it wouldn't be all about Shola Shubale. Now, this was a big challenge, because she was like, the life and blood of the first one. And as a director, I was really, I was somewhere there, how ready am I to take this plunge? So I told them, I said, I want to make the father of the bride the funny person in this film. He's not even Nigerian. And we started looking into the scripts, finding ways we could tweak. So we introduced like the pepper soup scene, the cola nut scene, and then we dialed a bit of it. Luckily, he's a very fantastic actor. He's a very good actor back in South Africa, and I had checked some of his works. So I did a bit of research on some of the stuff he's done, and I saw where his quirks where, and we had a long discussion. So I told him straight on that I want you to be the life of this party, and it worked. Also, it's good when you can understand what you want as a director and you're able to sell that to an actor.
Banky W and his wife Adesoa Itomi announced their engagement on the set of The Wedding Party 2, and ever since they have dominated the news tabloids. Banky, who is still finding his footing in the acting world where he has fired from music, had to rely on some of the experiences of his castmate to deliver under pressure.
I'm lucky because, like you said, the Wedding Party franchise is really my first real foray into film. Like I've done, MTV Sugar, I've done, Jennifer's film, I've done quite a few cameo roles, but this was really my first attempt. And I'm so lucky to be surrounded by the cast and the crew that I'm surrounded with, because you're surrounded by greatness. You almost don't have a choice but to try and keep up with that. So with that being said, I consider myself extremely lucky to be surrounded by the RMDs and the Auntie-Raties and, the Adesoas of the world and really everybody, Auntie Shola. Like, I learned a lot just by being in their presence and seeing the way that they handle their jobs. And by the grace of God, that should hopefully make me a better actor and a better director as well.
And shortly after, he announced he had undergone another surgery for cancer, causing fans to wonder if he had to deal with the symptoms while shooting.
Secondly, luckily for me, during the filming of the film, I didn't even realize that I was going to have surgery. So the surgery thing happened, the realization that the tumors had set back in came August, September. End of August, beginning of September, and we were long done with filming by then. So the filming had the surgery and the treatment and all of that had no effect on the filming because we were done filming by that time.
Another fire from the music industry is rapper Ikechukwu, whose goofy character, Shola, enjoyed more prominence, as well as Harrison, a character played by Frank Donga. The film closes with Shola appearing to have found love, causing many to suspect it's a foundation for a third installment. Ikechukwu hopes this is the case. He, however, has a special request from the scriptwriters.
What is wrong with you?
Let me say a little something about Banky W smacking my head. Yes, he's over there. Man, he's very lucky he's my friend. I'm serious. Because he knows how I get down. You slap my head, Orimi, Ishim, and think that I will not knock your own. Hey, Lord, have mercy on your poor soul. But no, actually, I pray that they give me several opportunities to slap his own head in The Wedding Party 3 if, God willing, they decide to move ahead with the production of Wedding Party 3.
The Wedding Party 2, shot in Lagos and Dubai, will hit the big screens this Christmas season.